We are reading a hand of a person, and there's something very different about this particular person's hand. And the thing that is different is his lifeline. This is his lifeline, it is ending, and a new one is basically developing. This can be seen in both the hands. The second part is this is the money line, and this is the headline. So at this juncture, the headline is broken. So and just zoom in, going to zoom in and trying to show you this is the portion where the headline is basically broken at the age of 35. So this is one part, and I just go back to the left hand, and this is the left hand. Same indications can be seen in the left hand as well. What we see in the right, the lifeline is coming and ending at an early age, and a new one is developing. So generally people are a little bit afraid that what's going to happen to them, but this is a beautiful sign. The way we read it is that this is the area of Venus, this is the area of desire, this is the area of beauty, grace, energy, stamina, vitality, and our desires. So more the coverage area of the lifeline, the better it is considered to be. So this was the original line of life. Imagine if this would have continued, so lesser surface area would have been covered out here. But what is happening is that the larger surface area has developed. So this is a good indication, because this basically signifies that more energy is coming to this particular person. If you look at the hand of Shah Rukh Khan, you would find similar indications. So the person is likely to be very energetic, and maybe the person is living at a different plane at one particular given moment of time. Let's imagine the person is living at 10,000 feet, but if you have a overlapping line of life, the person is living at 20,000 feet. Depending upon line to line, this is just indicative. So, uh, so uh, this particular indication may be on the lifeline, but it might have far-reaching effect on all aspects of one's life. Not necessarily, it could be financial or otherwise as well. So this is one part. In general, if we look that the whole palm has got less lines over it, lesser lines are generally considered to be better than having more lines. Lesser lines means lesser distractions, and it basically signifies that the person is likely to be uh, like uh, uh, like there won't be any kind of delays, unnecessary kind of delays. And even if there are some roadblocks, the person is going to like steamroll over these roadblocks, and there might not be any roadblock left in front of him. The other part that I find good about in this particular hand is that the heart line, this is the heart line, and it is ending purely and purely on the mount of Saturn. Saturn basically signifies money. Saturn basically signifies materialism. It signifies that if the person is responsible, is the person grounded, and how good the person can manage money. When the heartline is uh, undoubtedly, because sometimes we see the heartline is somewhere in the middle between the first and the second finger, and sometimes on the first finger. Those are basically indicative of the person likely to be more more idealistic. If the line was reaching on the mount of Jupiter, this is the area of trueness, and this is the area of the person being very idealistic and very sensitive and higher expectations. But out here, the person does not have any high expectations. It doesn't mean that the person is not working to make his life better, but no expectations from other people. So the person is practicing detachment. Detachment is moho nahi hona. It basically means that there's no expectations, and you try to do the best. And even if your kids or somebody else do not perform, you are not disheartened. You say that probably they might be good at something else, and so you don't carry the extra baggage with you. So this is the best for anybody and this increases one's performance. So performance is required, and the heartline ending under the mount of Saturn signifies good management of money. The person is grounded, the person is realistic, and the person has got his ears to the ground and knows the ground situations very well. So generally businessmen have their heartline ending under the mount of Saturn, but not necessarily that only businessmen have. It could be from any particular field. Let's assume a doctor. If a doctor has the heartline ending under the mount of Saturn, there's more likelihood that the person is likely to make more money, instead of a doctor who has his heartline reaching the mount of Jupiter, where it depicts idealism and sensitivity and higher expectations. So this is one of the best signs that we see for money matters. Apart from that, we are going to zoom in and look at the sun line. This is the sun line and the line of skill. So line of skill is also there. Line of skill basically depicts that how good the person is in his field of area. If the line is deep and clear, as we see, this is reasonably deep and clear. Few people might have a much more stronger line, but this is good, reasonable, and there are no crisscrossing kind of lines over this particular mount. This depicts that the person is has got sharpened skill. The person is very precise in what they speak. They are very precise in their calculations. So the likelihood of losing out on money are going to be comparatively less. So this is a good aspect. The other aspect is that the sun line in the left hand is also reasonably good, which depicts that there would be good name and fame. See, this line basically, if it's very thin, it basically depicts that there are doubts. If it's a little bit better, it means still better. And if it's really deep and clear, it basically means that the person is likely to have very there would be no doubts, and the sun is shining bright, and the व्यक्ति अपने काम को तप और ताप दे रहा है, उसकी वजह से उसे सक्सेस मिलता है. So this is one part. And another part that we look at is that we have seen that the lifeline is taking a bigger circle, so more coverage area, and this appears to be a little bit prominent. That means the mount is raised, and there's a padding over it. It basically signifies that these qualities are there in abundance. It means this is the area of your stamina and vitality and desires and your fuel. So this is what we see. This break in the line of head, this basically means that some major problem might come up at the age of 35, but because the line is deep and clear and intact, it signifies that it's going to affect the person in a little bit way, but not in a very, very major way. So this is one aspect. And this is the heartline, and the heartline has got few branches. This is the heartline, and there are few branches that are leaning downwards towards the headline. These aren't basically considered to be too good, but because these branches are very, very small branches, if a person had got a long kind of branches over it, it would be something related to, like, this is your heart and there are ropes hanging onto your heart. So it basically signifies that heart is getting tiring of your heart. But because the branches are smaller, so still the effects are going to be less. These lines of branches basically signifies attachments, and attachments bring in expectations, and expectations are not fulfilled. So that's why disappointments basically come up. This is the money line, and this is the headline, and the line from this particular area. The mount of Mars is coming and touching the line of head somewhere at the age of after the intersection. So it means somewhere at the age of 36, 37, 38 or so. So few problems might come up, but because the line in itself is neat and clear, the headlines, so the effects are going to be limited. So one more line I'll just add from the headline. There's a line going backwards, a small line. Few people have got a much more longer line. So this is the area of Jupiter. Jupiter is a big planet. Big planet basically signifies that the person is likely to reach up to a high position, and the person seeks honor. So the likelihood of honor coming to the person is also good. So um, a rest reading I would give over the phone. And thank you. In all, I would say that the hand is healthy, like the bone structure is healthy. It means a good hold over people, money, and resources. Weaker hands basically signifies that they do not have control of the situation, or people, or the situation. So it's always better to have a healthy hand. Healthy hands basically increases the quality of your lines. A weaker hand with best kind of lines are also not good, but a hand with strong structure with even lesser lines have a bigger impact. The head and the lifeline are joined in the initial start for quite a bit of time. It signifies person is cautious, shy, hardworking, and contemplating. So this is a thing. And generally, people want to know about money matters. See, money matters. This is the money line starting on the Mount of Moon. So benefits coming to person from trading activity and service industry. It signifies that through public appreciation, or a woman would benefit him more. So these are the things. But money line in itself doesn't tell everything. There are many aspects to the palm. Each and every portion of the palm tells something or the other regarding the money matters. Like this line of skill is there, lesser lines over it, a good sign. Uh, in the left hand, the sun line was much better, and the mount of Venus is prominent. There's this overlapping kind of lifeline, which is rare and different, and as mentioned, as seen in the hand of Shah Rukh Khan. So, bye and take care. Thanks for watching.